Everyone, Wellness Week Live. It's Mommy Mondays. There's a mommy right there. Right there. There's a mommy right there. I am DJ Anthony. How are you? Oceans or mountains? But before we get into that, hi, everybody. Steph, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I got a haircut just now, and I'm getting so old that like the whatever hairstylist, I'm like looking at her. I'm like, she could be my kid. I keep on thinking like hairstylists. They're older than me. They're adults, and I forget I'm 48, and I'm like, oh my god, I could be this person's dad. So I'm getting so old. But anyways, so we were talking off camera, and I want to touch on this because May, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the month of May.
Yes.
And May is Mental Health Month, I guess it's called.
That's correct.
Yeah, I hate the word mental health because it's a non-starter. It makes everybody think, oh, you're crazy. I like to say mind health because if you have a brain, you have a mind, and we all have mind health issues. It doesn't matter. If you have a sore throat, eventually you're going to have a sore mind. You'll work it out. You'll get the help. We all have mental mind health issues. Sorry, you do. And you're not crazy. Be an adult, okay? So you and I were just talking, and I had to stop you because you had some good comments coming out. So where you live in your town in Jersey, you had a mental health expo or something like that?
We did a mental wellness day.
Oh, okay.
Where we had people come and offer yoga, meditation. We had some testimonials from people who have recovered from substance abuse issues. So all sorts of things like that. And it was a great day.
Yeah. And I'm grateful that you and your community are doing that. I wish more communities would. And by the way, next year, please, Wellness Week, we could sponsor a table or something. I'm not kidding. We'll go live. Like, it would be great, and, but, yeah, I think it's important, especially in this month of May where, again, we like to bring awareness to it no matter who you are. And we don't have to go too far. Look in the news. But that's always an extreme. I like to say that all of us struggle at some point in our lives with some kind of mind health, whether it's anxiety, seasonal depression, and it comes and go. You don't have to be crazy. If you have a mind, you're anxious, you're nervous, that's mental health. So, and I think we're getting better at it as a society. But, and Steph, and I always talk about it here. I've struggled with OCD that I had to go to counseling for,
right.
Like legit. And I spent buku on the best OCD counselor in the country in Manhattan, New York City. That's how bad it was. And I've struggled with panic attacks of late, and guess what? I'm a successful person. I'm not crazy. Everyone, I don't care who you are, doctor, lawyer, police officer, kindergarten teacher, you're a dancer, you're a shoe shiner, your mom, dad, rich, poor. We all have mental health issues, it's just scale, but we all have that. Again, sore throat or cancer, they're both illnesses,
right.
We're human, and it's okay. You're supposed to have mental health issues. You know why? You have a brain. That's why. If you didn't have a brain, then I'd be, if you don't have any and people who say, I don't have any mental health issues, they're not even aware of them. They're not even cognizant. Again, do you ever get anxious? Do you ever get nervous? Do you ever have stress for more than one day? Guess what? That's mental health, and how do you address it is even more important. This is how you talked about drug issues. That's when things get bad, when we think, oh yeah, one more glass of wine, one more beer, and people don't think about beer as a substance, but we're not even talking about cocaine and heroin yet, but that's another issue. Yes, but or we try to hide our mental health problems, our stress, anxiety, or your panic, or you could be bipolar, whatever it is. We try to bury ourselves in gambling, pornography, watching Netflix for 90 hours. It's like, there's something else going on, so. And I always like to say, obviously talk to your doctors. We're not giving any medical advice here, but
absolutely.
But I was telling you, that's great if you have to go on pills, but why not also add a dietitian to that, a trainer to that, a cognitive therapy, talking to a therapist, a psychologist to that, because not everything should be pill. Pills have ramifications. They have side effects. And again, all for medicine, but if you're going to talk to a doctor, I would say also talk to a therapist, also talk to a nutritionist. I was just telling you off camera, part of the thing that made my panic attacks go to level 10,000 was my nutrition. I talked to a dietitian about that and a nutritionist about that, and they brought up, how much coffee do you drink? And I was drinking a lot, 5 cups a day,
Yeah,
and you saw me firsthand, Steph. I was like,
I know.
am I gonna die? But we joke, but I got off the coffee, and then I started to add more natural magnesium to my diet. I found that magnesium is also part of nerve health. So eating more bananas, eating more green leaf vegetables, exercising more, incorporated yoga. And now I do still get, I call them like micro baby attacks, but
Mhm.
nothing to the point where I have to go see a doctor or go to the hospital. It's, and I credit that to, again, me taking, um, a holistic approach to it. Now, if that didn't work, then I would have to go to the next step and see and get medication, which is fine. It's okay to get medication. Again, it's okay
Absolutely.
for us to take amoxicillin or Zithromax, but you can't take medication for a sore mind for a couple months or a year or two, or even if you have to
Right.
be on it indefinitely. But amoxicillin and Zithromax is fine. Like, come on, people, don't be childish, But my point, though, is, like, before we get on to so quick with the pills, is like, take a look. Hold on, like, are you drinking too much alcohol? Are you drinking too much coffee? This guy, and that was making me go over the threshold. Now, when I get a little anxious or nervous, I feel something coming on, but it never breaks. Like, level 10 is I have to go to the hospital. Now I'm
Right.
at level 3. Like, all right, I know. And again, I talked to my therapist about that, and now I don't have a therapist right now, but again, through the BetterHelp app, I had a tele therapist, and it was great. Anyways, so yeah, it's okay, people. You have a sore throat, you have a sprained ankle, you have type 2
Absolutely.
diabetes, you have high cholesterol. Guess what? Your brain is part of your body, and so you gotta address it, And anyway, so
Yeah, I think that's important because you don't want to stigmatize the fact that you may need medications for your mental wellness or your mental health.
right, but people are
Simply,
okay when you say, "Yeah, I'm on heart pressure, I'm on blood pressure medication." No one goes, "Oh my god!"
absolutely.
No, but if I say I'm on something for my anxiety or panic or my mood, whatever the medicines are, that like people start to, like we have to hide that, but we can tell people, "Oh yeah, I'm on blood pressure medication." Like it's fine, dude. Everyone chill, like
And one of the commonalities between all of the speakers that we had at that event was that they do still seek out therapy. So they do have somebody that they talk to. And they all have said, and I think this is true for any of us in our paths in our lives, when you take medication for mental wellness, if you need to take a Paxil or a Zoloft or things like that, um, it doesn't mean that your anxiety or your problems or your troubles go away. Not even with therapy. You're still going to have those issues in life. They don't go away, but you just have better,
coping
um,
mechanisms.
yes, in place.
Of
And you
course.
have people and a network now to fall back on. So it doesn't become overwhelming and all consuming.
And you can live with it. I live with stress and panic and anxiety, but it doesn't stop me.
Right.
And
And we all do.
right, just like we all live
We all
with
do.
whatever. I have a bum knee or a bad back, or I'm struggling with my cholesterol. You're human. Nobody has zero problems. And if you have zero
No.
problems now, don't worry, it's coming. Something's gonna happen, and that's okay. You're human. I mean, we like when our car breaks down or the computer breaks down. A human being is essentially a massive computer, a massive structure of
Yes.
mechanical structure. So we don't fault a car or a computer for having a glitch. Well, hello, this is the ultimate computer and machine, the human body, and shit happens, and it's supposed to happen. You're human,
Yeah.
and but just again, you do your best to fix it, and cure is a relative term, but like you said, if you can have something tap down to level 1 instead of level 9, that's kind of a cure. I mean, you're living your life,
Yeah. And I have to say, so yoga, we were talking about yoga before. Um, Based on your level of expertise or level of fitness or level of comfort, depending on what you're okay with, it's everything from gentle chair yoga
Right.
to intense hot yoga.
Well,
So there's literally something for everyone
right.
available.
And you know this, Steph. Anyone's watching, don't use the excuse, I don't have money, I don't have time. I did yoga in the shower last night, okay? I did yoga
Yeah.
for 4 minutes. But I do yoga on my sofa. If you don't know how to do yoga, they have this thing called YouTube. It's free.
Mhm.
And you go on YouTube and you'll learn. Again, you don't have to be standing upside down. You go easy, nice and easy, and you take your time. And all it is essentially is striking poses. I feel like Madonna now, strike a pose. But you're striking. No, really, you're holding poses and you're just breathing. And you're letting your mind clear. If thoughts come into your mind, don't beat yourself up. You let them go away and you breathe. So that's yoga. Talking to somebody. By the way, if you need a therapist, there are 800 numbers. There's crisis hotlines. You don't have to say you're going to kill yourself. You can talk to a priest, a rabbi, an imam. You can call your local board of health. There is help for you if you want it, folks. But if you want to make excuses, that's fine too. That's on you. But there's help out there, and there's free help out there. I know. I mean, I've gone through my church. I've gone through talking to the online apps. Online apps are going to cost money, but through my church I had or community organizations or my men's group, friends, like there's ways. And again, your friends are not trained professionals, and even if they are, there's a conflict of interest there. They're your friends, but talk to people, get out. Cognitive therapy is probably the most important thing. I would say more important than medicine or anything else. Cognitive therapy is number one. And then, medicine is important, diet is important, exercise is important. That's the other thing. But anyway, so real quick too, I want to touch on. I know now that pot's legal everywhere. Everyone likes to, pot, man, it's gonna, that's cool. Like, do you, like whatever. I'm not saying don't smoke pot, but pot has the two components, and you and I were talking about this. You have THC and you have CBD. The THC in the pot is an hallucinogenic. So if you're somebody that's, maybe you're already thinking everyone's out there to hurt you, maybe stay away from pot. Like maybe do the CBD, and you can research which ones are better out there. I wouldn't walk into I wouldn't walk into a bodega and get CBD, but no, but seriously, like, do some research, and go online again. Go do some research. But I would be a little bit hesitant to jumping on pot if you already have a disposition where you think everyone's out to get you and you don't trust people. Like that hallucinogenic component of pot is probably not going to help you. But again, talk to your doctor, people who are professionals, psychologists. But I would really stay, like, oh, a glass of wine. Hey, it winds me down. Hey, a glass of wine. They say wine's good. Again, though, if you have, problem wine, you probably stay away from the alcohol. I understand resveratrol in the wine is good for you, but maybe not for you.
Right.
And I don't drink wine. I mean, once in a while, but anyways, I'm not saying don't drink wine. I'm not saying make it illegal, but know thyself. If you're already kind of someone who thinks people are out to get you, stay away from wine, stay away from alcohol, stay away from pot, go CBD maybe. I would go exercise every day. That's a big releases endorphins, makes you happy. Get
Absolutely.
a trainer. You can get free trainers out there, again, online. Go to your local community center where you live. They got programs. Steph's community had a bunch of programs, and anyways, you were going to say, Steph?
I was going to say, and we talked about this too, because I'm involved in some of the committees that I'm involved in and stuff, I called the suicide hotline myself because I wanted to find out what it was about. I'm not going to refer something that I don't know about and I'm not comfortable with. So I had an opportunity to speak to someone online, someone over the phone, and I would recommend it to anybody who is in a bad place, even if they're not suicidal. They're there for you to vent to them. They're objective, so it's not like you're calling a friend. It's completely confidential. The only time they intervene is if you are considered to be a danger to yourself or to others. And they're available 24/7. So if it's 3:00 in the morning and you're in a really bad place emotionally, again, not necessarily suicidal, but you just can't get yourself together and you need somebody, your friends are all asleep, your family members are all asleep, this is a great resource to turn to where you get that human connection
100%,
and you have somebody that will stay on the line and talk to you.
Until
you're okay.
That makes all the difference.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Yes.
That every major bridge in America, there's a phone. That's how not a bottle of pills. There's a phone. That's
it's free.
And it's free. And I, I've had a friend that called the suicide hotline, and he wasn't suicidal, but like you said, he was just in a bad place. A lot of stress in his life, and he was, in a bad place. And he said, Anthony, it was great, and no cost, no nothing, no judgment, no cops, no ambulance. It's just someone, because we're human. We're supposed to break, and we're supposed to get back up and mend ourselves too, and with the help of others. And I was going to say too, and I actually went to AA with a friend of mine back in the early 2000s. He was an alcoholic. I didn't know that, long story short, and I can attest to 12-step programs, and it was great. So, but I get it. That first phone call is the hardest. That first step is the hardest. That first email is the hardest, because there's a sense of shame and a sense of, I'm crazy, I'm wrong, I'm bad, I'm weak. No one can know this. I'm supposed to be the successful lawyer, doctor, cop, soldier, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. I drive a leased Mercedes. I can't do this. No, not me. I get it, because that's how I felt too. A lot of times in my life, like I'm this popular DJ. I make money. I get all the ladies, and oh my God, now I'm walking into this psychologist's office in Manhattan. I felt like the biggest piece of shit. I felt like a real fucking loser, and
that's the beauty of a hotline like that, because it is anonymous. Nobody's you're not walking into anything.
Right.
Nobody's looking at you. They don't know what you look like. It's completely, it's a stranger.
Right.
But it's somebody who can just talk you down and keep you
and help you
the next day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The funny thing is, people who are worrying about what others are going to think, they're struggling too. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
So, and again, I get it. It comes with time. I wasn't always able to talk about this, like the way I'm talking about it so freely, like, hey, no big deal. It is no big deal now, but it was a big deal for me. I had shame, like I said, I felt like a loser, even though I was, multiple college degrees, making a lot of money, multiple homes, this and that. I'm a popular DJ. I'm popular, this and that. But I felt, like I'd rather break my wrist, but not break my mind, and so I needed that help with my obsessive compulsive disorder. So I got the help, and sure, does it still come back up once in a while? Absolutely. Weekly.
Yeah.
And now I have the tools, so it doesn't stop me. It doesn't hamper my life like it used to, and so I credit that with friends, and sometimes you can't tell family or friends, but anyways, people that I reach out to, and there's a lot of free help out there, folks, especially in 2022, modern day. There's no excuse, and you deserve better. You will get better, so we're all on that same line, anyways. Okay. So let's talk about, because this was not the topic, but I say we had to talk about it because it is May, mind health. I like to say mind health, not mental health, mind health. And by the way, if someone is, we all have mind health. Number one, you're not crazy.
No.
People who have mind health issues, aka mental health, mind health issues, they're of no danger. 99.9%, only to themselves they're a danger. So when you hear these horrific stories of people shooting up places and this and that, yes, they are crazy. Yes, they are mentally not well, but that's correlation, not causation. So most people who are mentally not well are only a danger to themselves, 99%. So you never have to worry when you see the quote unquote crazy person. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to hurt anything. They're going to hurt themselves. Yes, there is people who do crazy shit, but that's not, against a correlation. It's not the causation. Anyways, okay, moving on. So, and again, that's a real extreme thing. I'm not talking about someone who has, I'll have some stress in my life. That is a mental health issue, a mind health issue. But
we're talking
about shoot something up either. Yeah, relax. You're not crazy. Okay. So let's talk about, so I had some quick topics and I wanted to go through these, so I kind of Googled some.
So now we're going like way to the light side now.
I had to go, because it's May, and before you know it, we're going to be like, oh, damn, it's June already. You know what I mean? So we do this, Mommy Mondays is only on Mondays. Okay. So I wanted to get some kind of cool, funky topics to just talk about, to kind of like make people think, icebreaker type of thing. So, all right. So, which scent, Stephanie, do you find the most soothing in your life when you smell something, like, of all times? I'm not talking about the daily thing. I'm like for me, I don't know the name of the flower, but it looks like a white kind of little flower that's in bushes. It's not vanilla, although it might be. But when I smell it, it only comes out in the spring and summer. I mean, it brings me back to my childhood, which was a very happy childhood. And just, I'm like, wow, I wish I could bottle that smell. Maybe they do have it somewhere. I don't know what it's called. It's not lavender. It looks like a vanilla flower, but it's not vanilla. But it's a very,
chamomile?
Maybe it's a very light airy, smooth, like almost a light buttery smell, and it's not found everywhere. It's in New Jersey, and it's usually in bushes and stuff. But anyways, that's something for me that's like so soothing. I'm just like, I wish I could. Like, I'll stand there all day and do anything. I'm crazy.
Oh.
What about you? Is there a smell like, I don't know, that you?
For me, I think it's baking smells.
Yeah, that's a nice soothing smell too.
Yeah, it's very homey to me, very cozy.
Yeah. Well, ironically, growing up, coffee was a good smell to me because that meant my mother was putting coffee on. I meant like, oh, the cake's coming out, and so it was the old percolating pot too. So it was like, oh damn, shit's getting serious here. Okay, so Nana's got the coffee. All right, no, that's a cafe. Here we go. So, what is a language you love to listen to, even though you don't speak or understand it? Steph, you go first.
This is my weakness. I love languages, so almost all of them for sure.
Wow,
and
some
I
languages
also love it when if English is your second language and you have a little bit of an accent. I love that too. All of that.
How are you, Stephen? How's everything going on you?
Love it.
Yeah. Well, but I'm saying, but is there a language that, like, for me, it's either Italian or Korean. Like, if I hear people speaking Korean has a very smooth, like, and trust me, people, and I'm not going to get into my past, or my present actually. Most of my friends are Korean, and I speak basic, rudimentary Korean. So I trust me when I tell you, yeah. So Korean has a very kind of like an ebb and flow to it. It's very like, like it's almost sung to you. So I love listening to Korean. I love Italian's kind of similar, buongiorno, come stai? Like they sing the words almost, So yeah, those two. There's other ones too. But what about you? Is there like if you had to hear someone talk to you that you didn't know the language perfectly, like, who would you want to like listen to?
I think it would probably be Greek and maybe Aramaic for me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, great. Yeah. All right, cool. So how about this one? Oceans or mountains? Where would you rather live?
Oceans.
Me too, oceans. And the funny thing is, I don't like the beach. I like looking at the beach. I like being on the boardwalk, and I like being in the ocean, but I don't like the sand. So yeah, mountains are beautiful, but they kind of depress me. It's kind of like dark sometimes. Like it's very like kind of comes at you. And it's beautiful, and I'm a skier, but yeah, the ocean is just summertime and
it's the sound of
the Jersey Shore, bro.
Well, we did grow up with that, right? That is a part of it.
Yeah.
But no, it's the smell, it's the sound of the ocean. It is beautiful. Mountains too. I have a little bit of a phobia with heights and claustrophobia.
Yeah.
The mountains kind of feel like they're closing in on me.
That's how I feel too. Mountains are beautiful, but it's also just dark usually, even when it's the summertime, because mountains again block a lot of sunlight and stuff. Whatever. I like an openness. And anyways, okay. What about? Have you kept any memorabilia from your childhood? So what's one or two things that you have kept?
I have kept a lot of things from my senior year. I have my varsity jacket somewhere. I think I have the favors that were given out at my senior prom, stuff like that.
Same here. I have my varsity jacket, which I'm very proud to tell people I still fit into. I'm actually lighter now than in high school, but I have my varsity jacket is a big one. I always tell people I want to be buried in that jacket. Like you got to put me in that jacket, or else I won't die. I'll knock.
Noted.
I'll punch my way out of the coffin. Son of a bitch! What did I tell you? I guess memorabilia. I have some like sports cards and magazines. Not those types of magazines. I have like the first RoboCop cartoon book for one of the first Batman books, cartoon book, comics. So I have some memorabilia from my grandparents, like gold necklaces that they had worn. So stuff like that, But all right, cool. Okay, what about this one? What do you miss most about being a child, a teenager, and your age now? So what do you miss most about being a child, teenager, and now is now, but child and teenager? Like, what do you miss most about?
I think from being a child, I miss most like that magic, that anticipation of like the holidays and things, you believed in the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus. There was that element of magic that was there that I think was really special.
Right. And what about teen years?
Teen years. I think with teen years, it was all of the new experiences, like all of the new adventures, going out, the whole dating thing, going out on Friday night thing, like all of that was exciting back then.
Right, right. As it is for any teenager, right? It's you're
Yeah,
coming into your own, your first kiss, your first driver's license, your first
absolutely.
job, your first best friend, whatever. Yeah, same here. When I was a kid, I was thinking about this a couple days ago. I was like, yo, I guess, yeah, one of the things I loved about being a kid and a teenager too, I guess, was at least in my life, there was a lot of certainty. Like there was no ambiguity. Like there's good guys and bad guys and everything's black and white. And, when you die, we all go to the clouds to heaven. Just say your prayers. Like, everything was like figured out. And then shit happens in life and you're like, oh, okay, there's subtlety. There's things that may or may not happen. And nobody likes that. So
Nope.
I remember I bought into everything as a child, from, yeah, whatever, religion and only, bad things don't happen to good people, things like that. And then,
Until we learn different.
yeah. And it really kind of, I guess puts the salt in you kind of, and that's why adults sometimes, yeah, oftentimes, right. We're jaded. We're suspicious. We're insecure, but, okay. And then teenage years for me was, but so yeah, so for me being a kid, the certainty of my life that everything was figured out, do this and this equals that. And then for me, my teenage years was kind of like what you're saying, just the open possibilities of anything. Like you
Yeah.
really could, anything could happen and I could be whatever I wanted. Like the world was, and I think for most people, right, when you're a teenager, not everybody on earth, but for most people, when you're a teenager, yeah, the world is yours. It's up to
Hmm.
you. You can, make it happen or break it. And so that's kind of cool. And I think as we get older, though, obviously we start to see like, oh, okay, that's not gonna happen for me, like whatever that is, and it's kind
Right.
of sad in a way, but, um, there's other things in life that you can be joyous about if you want to look, but yeah, so being a teenager and you and I grew up together, that, right,
Yeah.
that sense of just, right, everything is just brand
Yeah.
new and the world is your oyster, so that's
Great
awesome.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's, yeah, for most people. Okay, so the next one would be, um, let's see here. Okay, so what about the current world would most be surprising to your younger self?
Uh, I
Like
have
everything.
like everything. I think definitely all of the different technology that is out there would absolutely blow my mind back then. And even some of the political stuff, which I don't want to get into
Yeah, yeah,
too deep, but I think that there's a lot of that would blow my mind back then too.
right. Same thing, right? I mean, and to kind of extrapolate what you're saying, same here. It's like if you would have told the 10-year-old me or the 15-year-old me, there's a thing called email. Like, right? People don't realize, right? We didn't even know. No,
No.
no email existed. Like email, what the hell's that? Like, right? Buying music, we had to get in our car, drive to the store, and pick up a record or a tape. If you would have told me, Anthony, if you would have told the 15-year-old Anthony, hey, you're never going to own music again, but you'll be able to hear any song on earth within a second, I would be like, what?
I know.
How does that? Wait, but I'm not going to own music?
Or
Like,
you can get rid of your Encyclopedia Britannica and you can just find out all of the facts that you want, few clicks of the button.
or if someone said to me, I just did this for the first time and it blew my mind. Like it was the last week, I ordered something from Alexa, the Alexa, Amazon Alexa. Well, she approached me. She goes, Anthony, I see that you are. I'm paraphrasing, but Anthony, I see you're due for a new tennis ball shipment because I play and coach tennis. I'm like, what? How the hell does she know that? So I thought about it, and I'm like, oh shit, Alexa's right. So I guess I should go on my computer. As I'm thinking I should go on the computer, she goes, would you like me to order that now for you? I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, just see what would happen. She's like, it's ordered. Be here tomorrow. It was not tomorrow, 8 hours. It was on my front doorstep. So if you would have told me at 15, Anthony, you're going to talk to your house, essentially, you're
Hmm.
going to talk to this
Yeah.
magical creature, and whatever you tell it to buy, it will be brought to your house. It'll be brought to your house. Like
Hmm.
not like service merchandise where you have to mail out the thing and it comes to your house 3 months
Right.
later. Within hours, anything you want product wise, I
Or
would
that
be like,
you could control the lights and the temperature of your house remotely.
Right.
What?
With your words, you know, like again, right. That would have blown my mind. Or cars will drive themselves. I would have been like, whoa, you know, like, uh, you know, yeah, if you would have told me that there would have been certain cures for certain cancers that have actually killed friends of mine in our younger years, that they wouldn't die, like they wouldn't die now if they caught it, I would have been like, damn, like really? Like we're like I would have just think, yeah, you know, like wow, like just a brave new cool world. Like you
Yeah.
know, you'll never get lost again. You'll never have to worry about
Yeah,
getting lost
that's
ever again.
huge.
I would have been like, how's that gonna happen? Well, you know,
And also when we were growing up, I remember HIV was really like a huge
oh, death sentence.
deadly disease.
Right.
And now it seems to be, for the most part, very manageable.
If you catch it early and yep, you do what your doctors tell you, you're going to live to 100. You know, like it's not the death sentence it was that killed so many Americans and people worldwide. Right.
Hmm.
So, right, medical breakthroughs, you know, breakthroughs
Yeah.
in technology, breakthroughs in anything, you know, sports, art, cooking. I mean, the pressure cooker, like everyone's got one of those. Like, well, what is that? You know, like we didn't
Yeah.
even own a microwave, okay, growing up. So, like, I mean, I'm not kidding. You know, it's like, what? So, yeah, we're in this, and and you think about when your daughter's an adult, she's going to say the same thing. Oh, when I was 14 and we're in our 70s and 80s, it's going to be zany, you know, like, yeah. So anyways, okay. So, right. Yeah, but we agree on that. We would have told our younger selves. Okay. So the last one, if you could travel back in time, which part of your life would you go back to?
For me, I think it would be freshman year in high school.
Okay.
And there were two people when I was, younger, that have passed away. And I don't have any regrets, but I think I would like to go back in time, if possible, just to spend a little more time with them and kind of soak that up a little bit.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I would say for me it would be like middle school, 11 years old, because once I hit 12, like I said, I had a great childhood, a great teenage years too. I'm not saying I didn't, but I think 11 was nice because my parents gave me a lot of freedom. Basically, at 11, I can kind of go anywhere, come back when the sun's down. I didn't have to work. I could just play. My parents were not Gestapo drill sergeants with my grades. You know, you got an F, don't do it again, you know, like whatever. So it was really just like the world was really my oyster. And then when I hit 12, things changed because we didn't have money. So I had a choice: either accept the fact that we don't have money and I'm not going to get the bicycle I want, I'm not going to get the pants I want, I'm not going to get the hat I want, or go get a friggin' job. So I got a job as a waiter at a bingo hall at 12. And then from that point on, from 12 to today, 48, I've been working. But that kind of robbed my childhood a little bit because I'm working at 12 now, you know, so it gave me a little taste of, you know, a dose of adulthood. And then, but I'm not saying I regret that, but anyways, 11 was nice because 11 was just like,
Yeah.
and you're kind of starting to get into girls a little bit and music, and you're again, right, the world is your oyster. Oh wow, I'm finding this music and that music and this food and that food and, you know, whatever. But if not that, I would say my early 30s, that was good too, because I had moved out of the house in my late 20s, got my own place, you know, single, just there was
again, the world is your oyster.
I'm kind of in that spot now again, but you know, there wasn't this damn thing that kind of, you know, you're always looking at it, and so
Yeah.
that was nice because my early 30s, they're really, cell phones were around, but they were big bricks, so you can be in the moment more. You know, I'm not complaining about my life now, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so all right, cool. So yeah. So we wrapped that up. And by the way, we had our second annual. I think you saw it. Our Anthony Paul's Dinner Club. Yeah,
I know. I saw that.
not being there. Yeah, it was nice. We had a little bit of a different group of people, which was awesome. Nice, like to see, you know, new people come. So we're doing pancakes in about 2 weeks or a month, 2 weeks or next month. So for people who don't know, and I encourage anyone watching this to start your own. Basically, you just go out once a month with friends and you commit to leaving the cell phone in the car, just so you can be in the moment and enjoy a lunch or a dinner or a breakfast. And that's it. And if you need your cell phone break, then you go to your car, you play with your phone, and you come back to the restaurant as a big boy or girl, and you have your adult conversation. So that's all I did, is essentially put a list together of people I know or whatever, friends, and I sent it out Facebook groups where you can just text people, hey, this is the date. But I would encourage anyone to do that. And it's great. Or yeah, look, even when you had dinner at home, right? Hey guys, come on, put the cell phone in the next room. Mm-hmm. But yeah, because my thing was like, we all see this. People go out, and this is, again, mental health, mind health. They go to restaurants and it's just, and
yeah,
you see people, husbands, wives, boyfriend, girlfriends, boyfriend and boyfriend, girlfriend and girlfriend, whatever, and they're not there. It's like, come on. So I really wanted to drive this point home. And so we had Korean barbecue last night, and it was great. And the other thing that was a nice thing, talking about the world is your oyster, experiencing new things. I didn't know this, but all the people with me, they're adults. They never had Korean food before. So it was really kind of cool. I felt like the daddy. I'm like, okay, well, this is this dish, and that's this dish, and this is this type of water called poricha. It's a rice drink. And I was showing people how to use chopsticks. It was really, really cool. Like, I felt like it was a Christmas day, and I was living vicariously through these children, my adult
Your
friends.
friend. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa. And I was like, there's another added layer to that, that you're in that moment and you're enjoying it. And you're like, hold on. It's just,
I know. I'm sorry I missed that one, actually.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm sure you'll come out to one
Yeah.
of them. We have other stuff coming up. But yeah, so the next one's going to be pancakes. And that's going to be a morning one, though. And I'm looking forward to that, too, because a lot of people haven't eaten at the place I'm going to take them. So, and we all pay for our own meals. So it's not that someone has to pay for everybody. But anyways, I highly encourage anyone to do it with your friends and family once a month. You support local restaurants in your area, or in our case, it's like twice a month. But so yes, that's good for also mind health, getting together, and breaking bread and lifts your spirits, and so
just having something to look forward to too.
Oh, it really is. Yeah. And I'm glad that I had that epiphany a couple months ago. I was like, oh, and I need it as much as anybody, just to kind of get out and connect and, and be bored for a second. Oh my God, I don't have anything to say. Perfect. Sit in that and relish the fact that you don't have anything to say. It's just like, no. It's okay to be bored for half a second and have to try to think of something. Hey, how about the Mets? Whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Just get out, and we're talking to the waitresses and the waiters, and it was really cool. So, anyways, yeah, you're gonna come out. We're gonna have you out, and
of course,
you sit right next to me.
Well, you're my guy.
That's it. You're my wing person, wing woman.
That's it.
But anyways, anything else you wanted to add, Steph? A great show, by the way.
Yeah, no, I think it was great. We hit a lot of topics. We went from stuff that was a little bit heavier to stuff that was a little bit lighter. But at the end of the day, I just wish everybody, good mental health, especially this one.
Good mental health, which mind and body connection, and you can have good mental health, folks. It's within your reach. You deserve it. You're going to get it.
Yes.
I always say, when I'm feeling dark, don't forget, right next to darkness is light. It's right there. It's like a coin, it's just right on top, the darkness is in the bottom, but above the top of that coin is the light. It's the same. It's right there within inches. So don't despair. And, it's okay to feel sad and broken, but, right around the corner, right there within inches is the light. I know that, and I'm nothing special. So I can do it. You can do it. So, anyways, so, all right, folks. So have a good day. And we will be back with more shows this week. And that is it, folks. I'm signing off. I'm there's no air conditioning in this room. I'm sweating like a WHO in church. Okay. Just, I don't know. I went to get a haircut today too. And I'm like, is there air conditioning in this place? Like, I'm sweating,
It looks amazing too.
Thanks. So she did a good job. I mean, I didn't put any, Giselle in it, no gel, but she was good. Like I said, she could have been my daughter. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so old, But yeah, that's it. Don't say that. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.